Hello, hello, and welcome to Popcorn for Dinner. We are back, the terrible sisters. Not just bad, terrible sisters. Like terrible twos, I thought, but actually that's toddlers, which is what the bad sisters are, I guess. And we have an unwelcome guest. We have a man here, unfortunately. You know, we've been kind of subjected to having to do this with men, which wasn't a choice that I made. But here we are with another man yet again. He has to prove his purpose within this episode. So Banky, hi, welcome back.
Hi guys. Can we just get this over quickly, please? I need to go ask out the younger sister of my dead crush, apparently, because that's the thing that we're doing now. We're asking out like the sisters of our dead crushes. So yeah. I'm glad to be back. I was listening in. I felt like the meme of Conan looking through the window, trying to have fun. Everybody else is having fun inside. So I'm glad I could replace it with it this week.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Good to have you back. A lot for your favorite character.
Becca is not my favorite character. Oh my god!
You love her.
Can we stop lying here?
I don't know,
because I just think there's a lot of lies coming through. There's a lot of
literally said on record that Ava was my favorite. Like it's literally on record. It's there for anyone to listen and hear.
Yeah, you went on about Becca's blue eyes.
Literally, I was about to say, and
her derriere.
I said she has the best eyes. It doesn't make her the best character. It's like it's there in plain.
Yeah, but it was implicit what you were trying to say.
That you love her.
What was I trying to say?
That you love her.
That should have been explicit. It should have been implicit. I was like,
okay, so you're asking yourself.
It doesn't make her my favorite character. I'm a man who has multitudes.
Okay, you're a man who has multitudes.
I can think she's attractive, but also not think she's not smart in many instances.
Yeah. So they're mutually exclusive, eh?
Yeah, they can be. I mean,
well,
I'm a diverse man.
Okay, since you're a diverse man, why don't you tell us, obviously as a diverse man, what you thought of the last two episodes?
I really like episode 3. I might love episode 3 for reasons that I control.
The episodes you went on first.
Episodes 1 and 2. Oh, sorry. I mean, I quite liked the start of the season. I mean, the Grace thing was very shocking to me.
Yeah.
But like shocking in a way that I was like, okay, this tracks, because as I have discussed with you guys offline, I don't know if I said this on record, I think this show is a soap opera. I think it's a very, very good
telenovela.
It's
elevated telenovela.
Yeah, it is. And obviously Sharon Hogan's writing, especially in terms of how she writes the women and their relationships, makes it better than an average soap opera. But I do think it has a lot of soap opera elements, I think. So although I'm like, oh yeah, this track. It was something that happens in episode 4. I was like, this tracks. This is a soap opera. This tracks. I might not agree with it, but it tracks in the DNA of the story.
Yeah.
So
I think it is elevated telenovela for sure. Yeah. And it keeps getting worse, which I'm not sure is necessarily a good thing.
It depends on when you say worse, what do you mean? As in like bad?
Well, I think worse in terms of more telenovela-y, in terms of entering. So maybe I think maybe to a layman watcher, that's what they like. That's what keeps them going. For me, I'm losing the essence that I came to the show.
I mean, that's fair.
Grace's death was a caricature. Like, I'm so sorry.
I've always thought the show was
I liked Grace's death, like I said last episode, as a set piece. But we'll talk about these 2 episodes. I just think a lot of things were done and said, and everything was heightened. And I'm starting to realize, like, are we going to come down at some point in this season? I mean, is there no down for us? So is the only way up?
Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling you were going to have this exact reaction. As in, when something's happened, I was like, Aisha is going to have this reaction. Because, and I think maybe for me, like I said, even from season 1, I always felt that was what the show was. I mean, I don't think we really potted about the show, but that was like what I thought the show was. Like, I mean, I described the show as the best version of a Netflix show. That was like, I didn't say a version of a HBO show. Like, that is the type of show I've always thought it was.
Yeah.
Like, so all of these things don't seem that far-fetched to me. But I do understand that if somebody's coming in thinking it's a HBO show and these things are happening, it might feel a bit weird, if that makes sense.
I guess the question we're asking is Bad Sisters prestige? And if Bad Sisters is not prestige, is that a problem? Is that a problem?
What is prestige?
You know, so funny, guys.
That's another term that we've ascribed to TV shows.
Trying to
like, what
explain
is
to
prestige?
my friend to watch it, and she's like, "This sounds so heavy." I'm like, "No, it's funny." Like,
Yeah,
I know
it's like-
sounds
really
heavy,
funny.
like it's funny.
Dumb.
So like,
it's fun.
it's a comedy.
I think there's a strong link
dramedy,
between
telenovela. Like, it's prestige in that really niche sense. Like The Great is prestige, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
really good
prestige to me just means a
Yeah.
great show.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I think
is Big Little Lies more serious than Bad Sisters in terms
Yes.
of like quote unquote prestige?
100%.
yes, for sure.
The tension in Big Little Lies
For
is
sure.
choking.
Because that's season 1?
Big Little Lies season 2 fell into the same trap I think Bad Sisters is falling into now.
Now here's the thing. Here's my argument. I think the drop off is less because Big Little Lies season 1 was so much different from season 2. Meanwhile, I think Bad Sisters season 1 is actually still has the DNA of season 2, just a lot more ludicrous, but not necessarily. I don't mean that in an exaggerated way. Does that make sense? Like, I think Bad Sisters still has a thread of DNA.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like
I think it still has a thread of DNA, but I feel like it is losing it as time goes on. But I do think Grace's death does free up a lot. Like, there were more sister moments where I could feel, you know, I could really feel the core relationship and the emotionality in everything going on there. So I don't know. I think maybe I just need to hold on. Maybe 4 and 6. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 and 6 will really hit.
Just to be clear, I don't think this season is going to be better than season 1. I think that was kind of like an impossible task.
Yeah.
No, it can't be.
But I also still like, for me, I still think we'll see. I think it's going to end up being like a good show in terms of good versus bad. And I also think it's still might even be funnier. I feel like I've laughed at more things so far this season.
No, I feel like with the introduction of Angelica alone, like
I think Fiona Shaw
let me
is
call
doing
her a
a
bitch
job.
before we start. Like, she is doing the 10s, the 9s. She's eating it up. Lana 2's eating it up. Like, they all eating it up in their own little ways this season. Even Ursula, like, again, being a dumb bitch, but like, still, I'm seeing a little bit more from Urs.
I have strong Ursula thoughts. Anyway, let me know. I have some strong Ursula thoughts.
Yeah, I think it could never be better than season 1 because the source material Clan, which is a Belgian show that was created, was only 1 season anyway.
Yeah.
And that was where the premise was, you know, taken from. So I think this, once we know what the premise is, we know the sisters are going to be bad.
Yeah.
And they're going to do dumb shit. Like, it's not going to be hard to kind of guess what's going to happen in a season. It's just high drinks and
they spent 10 episodes trying to kill a man. They tried to blow him up, and like it's a dumb show. As like, I mean that in like the best possible way.
It's just drug him and
like.
I still think the question of whether we can consider like how we characterize what exactly we define, even though we don't need to take the common definition of prestige as, is really interesting in terms of this show. And when you mentioned The Great, it was also very interesting. Okay,
no, you're right. I don't want to. We're not going to talk about that. I just want to say like prestige is that's a whole different podcast discussion.
Yeah,
because when you talk about prestige, the things that come to your mind now will be very heteronormative shows and the anti-hero male shows.
I don't think it has anything to do with heteronormativity.
What are the prestige? When you say prestige, what comes to your mind?
Banky, like, if I think of a show and I'm like, oh my god, this show was fucking fantastic. Sherlock, I think
Sex and the City is prestige.
Thank you.
Sex and the City is more prestige than Bad Sisters.
Yeah, for sure.
110%. I can't say
I will die on this line.
That's a different discussion.
110% more prestige than Bad Sisters. 110%.
Because
it knows what it's doing. It knows what it's doing. And I feel like the show now is starting to not know what it's doing. I feel I think that's where we diverge, because I feel like this is entirely what
lasted the test of time. I feel like for me, one key definition of a prestige show is like, do I want to rewatch this? How often do I want to rewatch this?
Entourage knew what he was doing. Is that
Entourage is also prestige, yeah.
Okay, then so what are we saying here? Because if I call it Entourage prestige,
Grey's Anatomy is not prestige.
Good shows. I would say it's not prestige past season 16, okay? From season 1 to 16, and you can't speak on that.
I mean, if we're calling Entourage prestige TV, then Prestige is just anything that people like and is good. Let's just leave it at that, because
I think prestige is consistency and using the TV format to benefit your show. Like, for
Entourage doesn't have
example,
more artistic merit than Bad Sisters. And I feel like throwing up just making that sentence, but that's what I have to do. I feel like I'm just... Anyway, sorry, we're 10 minutes in. Just
we will continue going. But I just want to say one last thing. Having watched a lot of bad TV lately, Bad Sisters has been actually a breath of fresh air for me.
It's very far from bad TV.
Got through disclaimer and the end of disclaimer, which, by the way, is not a prestige show. Just want to put that out. I'm going to leave that there. And we're going to move on.
I'm still dragging my feet through episode 3 of...
That's such... I know, let's go. But that's a very interesting thing.
Don't drag your feet through anything. It just didn't stick. It just didn't end well. Like, it just... I can't even get into it.
It's just the idea that, like, an Alfonso Cuarón, Kate Blanchett...
is not prestige.
Kevin Kline show is not prestige. That's like a whole different discussion that we can't even have right now. Just the idea of prestige.
And I'm really sorry, Alfonso. I really love you, and it's documented that I really do love you. No, I really love him. I really do. But I need to be real. I need to. I can't come here and lie.
He insulted his baby. That's what I'm saying. I just feel like if he was listening to this, he won't really believe that you love him. I'm just stating. I'm just reading the text.
He knows I love him, and I don't need to prove that to him. He knows I love him. Now I have, ensued all the chaos. Let's start with episode 3, because I feel like with this batch, we need to break it down.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, the synopsis of episode 3. What happens in episode 3? The girls mourn Grace. Meanwhile, amongst all things, they still have to contend with an ongoing police investigation by Fergal and the police team. Episode 3. Thoughts, feelings.
Loved it. First of all, Ursula is a dumb bitch. Sorry, I didn't mean that like that. Sorry, that came out so quickly.
No, that was a Freudian slip. Do you want to tell us? Do you want to tell us more why you think Ursula is a dumb bitch?
Why, of all people, as you are grieving, fighting for your life, thinking that I might have had something to do with my sister's death? Oh my God, maybe the drugs I gave her put her under the influence. God, I'm gonna kill myself. Angelica, you pour your heart out too. Your sisters. Can I
defend Ursula? Can I defend Ursula?
You should, because I want to. Yeah, go ahead.
We're talking about shrinking the other day on the podcast, and I mentioned how I think grief is like a magic eraser in storytelling, because people just do various things when you're grieving. Like nothing works one-to-one. But also in this case, she's giving the impression that like Angelica and what's her name, Grace, were close.
We've had a relationship,
and she feels like at this point she feels kind of, she's vulnerable, and she feels kind of. Also, Angelica is doing her part in manipulating this woman.
I was going to say Angelica is very manipulative.
There's a great. I have some notes about like great directing, but there's a great sequence of shots in that scene where you see Angelica go like from seat to seat to seat before she finally like, and. So I think objective is a dumb thing Ursula does, but like it's one of those things where you're just like, I get it. Like you shouldn't have done that, because you can see that immediately she does it. She's like, why did I just do that? Like it's like, but
she's like, hey girl, hope that chat was cool. Just wanted to check in.
Can we keep it between ourselves? Like, just to tell everybody like the police.
Yeah, I think that I just don't think she can be blamed for this.
That's not even what I'm blaming for. What I blame her for the most is giving Angelica the money. Like, what in
no, you have to do that.
No.
Angel, you have to do that.
Angel, let's pause for a bit. Blaming her for giving the money makes less sense than blaming her for telling her.
What is she meant to do?
What is she supposed to do?
It's more understandable for Ursula to be like, oh, she just had a slip. Like, the grief was eating her up, the guilt was eating her up, and she just, let it go to Angelica. Cool. Okay, you're going to chat with Angelica after, right? And Angelica is saying, well, if you want me to keep your secrets, you're just going to have to pay me a couple $200.
So what does she do? Not pay?
What do you expect after that? Do you think that's the last thing Angelica is going to ask you for?
Maybe not, but you can't not pay, because if she goes to the police,
you cannot pay, because you don't go to the police. You go to your sisters. I say, guys, I put myself in BC
and kill another woman.
But here's the thing. You have to
gather and God say, Angelica, I know you're a leech. I know you're crazy. I know you're this. Leave our sisters alone. Sure, let's go threaten her. But you paid that. After I paid that, I now went back to that.
No, but
I think you have to pay. I think you have to pay.
Here's the thing. I mean, you definitely do have to pay her off. But here's the thing: is the sisters. There is this consistent premise, and we can argue about whether that is I don't know, a very realistic or sensible saying that within the writing, that every sister seems to act on their own merit and in isolation. And they tend to do idiotic things in isolation and come back and report to the other sisters, and it becomes a whole sister problem. And I feel like they would need that for the plot to move forward. But I wonder if that makes sense in real life. If you are that close to your sisters, wouldn't you have a discussion like we're saying?
Yeah.
So I do think there is some merit to what you're saying, but I also think everyone is like grieving in this situation, and it was very clear.
Yeah,
and it was very, very clear from the very beginning. Start of the episode, by the way, the music was insanely good in this episode. It was doing its job. Also, there's a lot of like White Lotus-y music going on. There is a composer, I can't remember his name now, I'll find it before the end of the episode, that did the White Lotus season 1 music, and I listen to that all the time. Anyway, it's that kind of like eerie music. It's really good. But when you see them grieving, you start to see them point the blame at each other, which often happens when you're both grieving a common relative. You're like, you start to point the blame, you start to kind of fight, and, you know, emotions are high. So I feel like she just is trying to do her part without bringing in her sisters. But I do think, I understand what you mean in that.
Yeah, also at that point, she thinks she's the reason Grace died. She's not going to go tell her sisters that.
Exactly.
Like, she wants to kind of bury it
deep.
Like, before.
And you also have to understand, like, when she goes, you know, she's divorced or divorcing. You know, her life is up in shambles. She's stealing drugs from her hospital.
No, this is actually
she's a fucking mess.
Like, on every level, she got caught.
Yeah, she's a capital M mess, a capital B basket case.
On every level, she got caught. It was tough.
Was it this episode or episode 4 where she runs to the hospital?
That's what I'm trying to remember. Why do I feel like it was episode 3?
It was in this episode that
I think
she
it was
runs.
3 because 4 was all about the break-in. I'm like,
it was in this episode that she runs. Is
it a bad sister season if Ursula doesn't run to the hospital to get rid of evidence? Like, how we do that?
She's always running to the hospital, and then to get caught by your ex-husband's new girlfriend is a new level of embarrassment. Actually,
who's in a higher position than you. God, I'm sick.
That is really embarrassing.
So on episode 3 itself, like I said at the start, I quite like this episode. Probably love this episode.
I see your name, Grief Thief.
Grief Thief, Angelica. Oh my God!
Let's actually talk about that, because calling someone a grief thief, I think, is so fucking funny.
Genius.
I had never heard it before, and I was like, this is such
funny.
A great term.
I didn't have to explain what the fuck she was doing. Like, what the fuck do you mean you're going to sit at the place for the family?
And I also think grief thief is so kind of like, I mean, that's just Irish humor, but like also English Irish humor, because it's like just saying anything. Like, there's this tweet I saw the other day about someone being like, "Oh, my boss called someone a bungalow the other day, as in there's nothing upstairs." And that's so English to do such a thing, to be like, "Oh, he's such a bungalow, there's nothing upstairs."
That's funny.
And to grief thief is so like, it's so literal that you're just like, of course you.
Can you believe this is happening? Can you believe this is happening? Like,
he's fucking insane. Like, what is she doing? What is she doing?
They had to shout at her before she stood up. Like, she's lucky they didn't slap her. Because I'd be like, are you fucking crazy? Get the fuck up.
I think Bibi is like, oh, Angelica, let us know if you need a shoulder to cry. Angelica is like, I will. I was like,
she's like, what the fuck? Are you the one who's
okay, now is the time to ask, do you think Grace is really dead?
Oh, yeah. She gone. They want to go.
What if Grace is not dead, guys?
You see the person that said it was soap opera.
What if Grace is alive?
Like, oh, what's he?
Does she have a tweet? What are you
literally
they burnt her body, please. These are the days of our lives. Like, I think it's established. She's dead.
You're talking about the burnt her body. Angelica, I got punisher.
Wanted to scatter the ashes. What a woman.
We'll get there. We'll get to her wanting to scatter the ashes as well.
Can I just shout out a scene which I think is my best scene of the season so far. Might be my best scene of Bad Sisters. It's the bedroom scene when they're trying to pick Grace's dress.
That was really lovely. That was really lovely.
I think it has everything that Bad Sisters is great in that one scene.
You're so right. Yeah.
It's funny, like it's like real. Like you can see Ava is like, no, we're not going to do this kind of polite shit.
I like that. Exactly. I like that she said that because I feel like you're right. That is when I love the show the most because that's exactly what she would say to you. And
that's
sisters.
grief experience.
We're not going to.
As someone who's like, she was like 20 when her parents died, and she knows what the other sisters did. She's like, we're not going to do that again. We're not going to be
she's like, I need you guys to speak your truth. Okay, this is not the time for us to bury her looking like an office assistant. Okay,
exactly.
Tell me you hate the girl.
Not office assistant manager at the petrol station. Which is insane.
And Becca saying because she's right is crazy.
And she was just realizing that was like
that hit
the long delivery of that, and like Ursula's reaction to that, just like she was just realizing who she was. I mean, look, at the risk of self-promotion, I released like my first short film a few weeks ago, and in that short we have a scene in which two brothers are picking out the dress they're going to bury their mother in, because like to us at that when I wrote at that point, it was just like it's like, how do you bury, what do you give as the final thing they wear?
Right. Exactly.
And like, do you go like the normal black, or do you go something that
really
for their personality and stuff like
something that resembles, like, something that is reflective of who they were, what their soul was like, or
it's just it's like, it's seen that you're like, that scene could have been anywhere else. They could have been still downstairs having a conversation. It's just like, and then obviously BB now saying the thing of like, I wish we never went after the prick. And I was like, oh my God, there's a strand here that this show can pull on.
And you know what? That coming from BB in particular is very, very, very dire and important.
And I was like, if this show goes down this path, because this path is quite dark, and if they go down that path, I would love it. I don't know if there are fans who love it because their fans think this is a fun show.
I think they will go down that path, and I think they kind of have to. I think it would be a disservice to the whole show if you don't go down that path, because I do think when you murder someone, you know, it never ends for you. You always will have to do something to do with it, whether it's emotionally, whether it's covering up, whether it's more practical. You know, that's why a singular murder ends up to be a string of murders. And I do suspect there will be more murders to cover up this
I mean, there's someone in the trunk. We don't know who's in the trunk.
Exactly. I hope it is Angelica.
There's someone in the trunk. I hope it's Angelica, but I also feel like if it's Angelica...
I have some galaxy brain theories. about this show. Like, far out there. We'll get there.
We're going to do that at the end. But what did you think about Roger in this episode? Because I've been thinking a lot about Roger, and I've actually been thinking about how he's portrayed as this, you know, sensitive, innocent guy that, you know, really doesn't want for anything and just he's just there for Grace. But then I remember that at the end of season 1, when the police come over to him, he has a picture of Grace, Blanard, and JP, and he cuts out JP.
Oh yeah, he wanted that life. He loved Grace. That's clear. We know this. He wanted to be her family.
He might be infatuated with Grace.
I feel like that's the only one
he's in love with. I think the only one thing Angelica is right about is that he is in fact in love with Grace.
100%.
And I think it's one of the things where he's been in love with Grace for years. Because they clearly all grew up like it's kind of like a small community thing.
Exactly. And he makes it clear again when, like, you know, she gets married and he's like, I still can't believe it's not me after I helped you cover up a murder.
And I had the thought that, I guess, since it's just 3 of us that are talking, there's no it's not as if anybody else is listening to this.
Stay.
And I am all for, obviously, women choosing who they're going to be with or whatever. But part of my head was like, if this woman had just thrown Roger a bone, we would probably all just been safe. Like, if she didn't marry Ian, she would still be alive. Angelica would not be involved. I was just like, Damn,
No,
man.
because
Fighting her
I'm
from
interested.
Angelica.
I'm interested in looking at Roger to the context of somebody that is inappropriately infatuated with Grace and how
yeah.
that influences Angelica's behavior towards the family is
Yeah.
what I think I'm interested in thinking about.
Yeah.
I was just
think
thinking about
seeing his
Roger.
visit fuels her vindictiveness.
I think so, and I'm interested to know first of all, like what Roger's past relationships were like, and also maybe what Roger and Angelica's relationship was like as
That
children
I want them
too.
to explore. I would love a flashback.
Yes.
Because
Because
the
I was thinking about
dynamic of
Roger
their
as well.
relationship is very.
And who's
Yeah.
older? Do we know who's older?
I think
I'm gonna
Angelica is older.
Angelica.
I think Angelica is definitely older.
It's gotta be.
I think Angelica is older.
Right?
Yeah.
I think Angelica is older by like
A couple
probably
years.
some distance. 'Cause I think she's definitely older than Ava.
Oh, I mean, when she was like,
Fiona is in her
Yes,
60s.
yes.
Yeah, Fiona is in her
Yeah.
60s. And just to like, if I'm trying to get a comp, but I was thinking about Roger because I do think, and I don't want to use this word, but I do think Roger is actually nice. Like an actually nice person, at least from what we've seen in season 1, at least, right?
I think so, yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't
Angelica
think
is
he's
not,
that
and I think that very interestingly, like Angelica, like Bibi said, is someone who wants everybody to know that they are nice. Like she says, what does she say? I'm nice to a fault or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's
it's
interesting.
about her good deed.
It's a really, really interesting contrast. You're talking, what you're talking about is people that are actually good and kind people, and people that are self-proclaimed nice people.
Yeah.
I actually call this brand of men a self-proclaimed nice guy.
Oh, I call them
and many
100%.
women have been victims of men.
The moment a guy tells you, "Oh, I'm a nice guy," run. Because who told you that?
He's like, I'm so nice and normal. I would never do anything.
There I go, changing my Hinge profile.
Exactly. That's how they start.
So no nice guy in Hinge? Is that what you're saying? I should remove it from my Hinge profile?
Absolutely never say you're a nice guy. If you're a nice guy, you don't have to say it.
What if I say I'm a feminist? Should I remove that as well?
Yeah,
from my Hinge profile.
That's trying too hard. Actually,
nice guy. I'm feminist.
What about
how many messages?
I had okay. I'll just
Angel's like you've definitely never gotten any matches on it.
Like,
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
My sisters out there, please. You see nice guy in the bio, run.
No, my sisters in suffering, please don't.
Run.
But onto the subject of like being self-proclaimed nice, it goes into this thing that I've been really thinking about in terms of the show and what I really like about what they are exploring with this. And I got to thinking about it. I mean, as soon as Angelica is introduced, I got thinking about it, but also because I was recently watching this other Irish show called Say Nothing as well, which has to do with this. But anyway, this idea of like being kind, but this also idea of like being a godly person is very interesting. And I think the fact that this show is, very Irish and wants to portray Irish culture very authentically, a huge part of Irish culture is how religion underpins everything. And the idea of Angelica, I think they're treading this really, really fine line of portraying Angelica as, I would go as far as to say, as a season's villain for sure.
Oh yeah,
especially because of the way that she was introduced. If we think back to episode 1, we see Angelica and we first see her with Roger kind of watching or maybe coming in, and then at some point we see her walking, and there's this kind of like quite low shot of her just walking in the stadium or whatever, and it's quite dark, and then there's music playing, and she's the centerpiece, and you're thinking to yourself, what's this woman going to do? She's an old lady. She looks like helpless, But I think that they are introducing her as something, and I do think that idea of the people that portray themselves as godly, Irish Catholicism, and how that plays within that is also really fascinating in how they are doing this, because she's a scammer.
Oh, 100. I was just saying, we can even tie it directly to our own very pastors in Nigeria. Pastor Iran.
No naming them.
Hello, what's this one in the UK that's doing Davido's bestie?
Oh my God.
Toby.
Yeah.
Of course.
What about the one that does racing with his cars for his birthday?
It's Pastor Toby now.
Oh, it's him, yeah.
It's Pastor Toby,
Pastor Toby. And I think that's interesting. I mean, I don't forget the fact that at the end of last episode, we saw her, performing self-flagellation with the belt, like self-harming as well. And I do think that's very common of corrupt, people within religious positions, is that they torture themselves, and because they need to be this perfect person, godly and so, but they
Perfect,
are
but not above
rather
extortion.
corrupt. Yeah, but not above extortion too. Because in the first episode, she lied to Roger about placing that bet. She probably pocketed that fucking
that's
money.
1. 2, she has extorted Ursula. 3, we're pretty sure she's the one that Grace was trying to pay. So
okay,
I feel like she's not
to go.
Oh?
Okay, all right.
I feel like
on that very, very note, let's do episode 4. So in episode 4, the investigation continues into the sisters and their complicity in John Paul's murder, and hijinks ensues. Let's talk about the hijinks. Yes. So, Banky, you don't think that she did? You don't think that she tried to extort?
I am usually wary of shows when it looks obvious.
I agree. Which is why I don't think she's in the trunk either.
Oh, no, I don't think she's in trunk. I don't think she's in trunk.
I hope she is.
I don't think she's in the trunk. It's too obvious. It's too obvious for her to be in the trunk.
It's funny because even after Grace died, I did not, in my head, she died like immediately she left the house. Like that was the drive from the house. I didn't put it together that she had been somewhere else and that was her drive back.
Yeah.
And because so obviously she's dropped that money somewhere and with somebody.
So somebody has the money.
So somebody, I feel like it feels too obvious.
What if it's Ian?
But who else would it be? But that's the thing. I was like, the breath of fresh air.
Guys,
The breath of fresh air when Ian reappeared. I said, I trusted in you, Grace. But hey, happy to see him standing, able, living and breathing.
No, because I think we can just straight away talk about episode 4 and how Ian says, we end with Ian saying very threatening words to Angelica, which I'd never seen him act like that.
Ever. And him smiling as he was walking away too, like he was very proud of himself.
So I have give me a second, because I have a larger thought about this. But to end at that thought, I need to start somewhere else, which is what you said.
I have a question too.
Yeah.
Who else thinks they are framing Ian and Ava?
Oh no, Ian and Ava. And my other note too about this episode that Ian and Ava are definitely going to have an affair.
Oh yeah.
I mean, is that an affair?
An affair is. I think an affair is anything romantic. A romantic affair is a romantic affair. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be extramarital.
Just to spoil a little spoiler for my eventual rankings, the possibility of Ava and Ian greatly affected Ava's ranking for me because I just I don't want that to happen. I really don't want that. Like,
but it probably will happen.
Like you're right, because there's a shot where it cuts from Ava and Ian hugging to Matt and Becca hugging. I'm like, what are you guys doing, man?
It does.
Ian
and even the way the camera focuses on them when he's helping her breathe or helping her,
they're always so closely.
Like,
they're always so close.
I thought it was running man. I'm like, this. That guy is not just me. I was like, guys, let's not do this. But it looks like we're doing it.
Sometimes the love of your life is your brother's husband, your sister's husband.
Exactly. They say don't let someone else stop you from meeting the true one, right?
Don't let. I mean, I feel like you can let your dead sister stop you from meeting the truth.
I mean, if you're gonna take her child anyway,
Ava wants that child bad. Let's be real.
So,
I mean, but also, can we just before I bang? I want to hear what you're about to say. But I also think to support my Ian theory. I mean, it's not really. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. He is very, very so ready to be Blanna's dad. So ready to be. I don't know. I just feel. I don't know. Something about Ian is just, he's not sitting well with me. Anyway, Banky.
No, I agree with you. So I do think, larger point, I think the problem I feared going into this season has reared its head, and that we don't have someone to, like, we can't truly, truly hate the way we hated JP.
Yes.
And I think we don't have a real villain.
We do. Angelica is our villain.
Angelica, I hate her.
Here's my thing about Angelica. I think, and this might be too metatextual, but I do feel like the show is going to show different sides to Angelica.
I agree. I mean, they already have. You see her self-harming.
Yeah, but even just in a way to give sympathy.
It's not positive.
No. Okay, for example, when she cries...
That didn't move me. Did it move you?
No, but when she cries when Roger tells her that Ava was raped. When she cries there, that scene doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
And we clearly know that Grace at one point really, really liked Angelica. They were close. So I think it might be one of those things where maybe they start off thinking she's a wagon, which apparently is like a lesser form of bitch in
Yes,
Irish
it
slang.
is.
Also, I think
It
this season
is.
is a lot more Irish than season 1. I
It
might be wrong,
is.
but I feel
Yeah,
like
there
it's
is
so
a
No,
lot
much
more
more
because
Irish.
they did a couple of interviews after season 1 and talking about like Irish phrases and stuff, and I think that interview kind of blew up in a sense. So I think they're now kind of more comfortable, and
I'm going to
they're
be using "Who's Your
really
One" so
tapping
many times. Who's
into that.
your one? Anyway, so I do, and again, I feel like this show going from, this is going to sound so rudimentary and I hate it, but like this show is painting the man as the villain, right? Toxic masculinity, JP and everything. And I feel like it might be weird to go from that to having the older woman as the pure
No,
villain.
so here's the thing. I don't think Angelica is a pure villain. I still think they're treading the line. But I think they have to tread, I do think they have to tread the line carefully because they are dealing with religion. They're dealing with Irish Catholicism. That's not a joke to any, like, that's a very serious thing in Ireland.
Exactly.
So I think they're treading the line, but I also think they're trying to portray her as not perfect because that is reality in life. There are people that are religious figures that are not perfect. So I do think we are going to swerve and see Angelica in a different light. But I do think between the episodes that we've watched, at least, they are definitely trying to make us not like her.
Exactly, yeah. But I also think performance is too
are they
good.
doing this? I was like, I wonder, are they doing this to try and set us up to mislead us? Like, okay, right
Probably.
now, the vibe.
I think so.
Yeah.
So this is my first
I
galaxy
think
brain.
what Banky is right, yeah.
My first galaxy brain theory is that what if Ian becomes the villain?
I think
honestly,
he's going to.
But I feel like they showed us a taste of that when he
like,
went
yes,
to
the glee he gets from that intimidation was a bit like
smile. I was like, why are you smiling?
And also, let's think about the fact that when we first get introduced to Ian, they keep saying, oh, he's a fantastic guy. You know, Ian would never say or do anything, you know, to hurt you. He's the best guy ever. And I think now, I actually, as we keep discussing this, I'm so sure of this because I'm thinking about all the male figures we have now. I know I said a lot of crap about Matt, but actually when he came back, I was really glad.
I've always been here for Matt and Becca. Okay,
no, he was really lovely to her, and I just I felt things, and I'm glad to have
Good Luck to You, Leo Grande.
No.
That's
but I know he's with
Darren McCormack and Emma Thompson.
Thompson,
yeah, COVID film.
But yeah, so we have the male figures. I know I should watch it actually, but I haven't got around to it. So maybe I will now that I like him.
I love a little.
Watch it. We have Matt. I forgot for the life of me, which also very important, and I forgot. We have Ava's boyfriend, and we have Ian. I'm sorry, not Ava. Becca's boyfriend.
I was like, who's Ava's boyfriend? I was like,
no, Becca's boyfriend. And I think it's really interesting. Kind of, I mean, giving Becca a plot is good, but I also think juxtaposing. Because she's jobless, like in the show and in real life. But anyway, moving on. By the way, if you're listening and you're not watching, Angel just put like her middle finger at me. So this is what you get for slagging off. This is what you get for slagging off Ursula. This is what you get for being mean.
So Becca gets called jobless.
Yeah, but she is jobless. Is she employed?
Wait. Finish your ear thoughts, and then we can go to Becca.
Anyway, whatever. So, we have all the men, right? We have all the men. And I think juxtaposing them is really interesting in the sense that in the 4th episode, we find that Becca is pregnant, right? She goes to Matt, and we have the altercation with Matt.
Pause. Aisha, what was your reaction when you found out Becca was pregnant? Or when you found out what the show was trying to tell us?
I was disappointed.
Aisha, what was your reaction?
I was actually like, now, wow. The problems don't stop.
I was very disappointed.
So when that happened, I was like, yeah, this is not going to go down well on the podcast.
I was like, did she do that right now? I was just like,
you know what's funny? I have a very good pregnancy radar. Not in real life, but in shows for sure. Because it's so obvious. When she was holding her tummy, I was like, this bitch is pregnant.
Of course.
I was like, fuck. I was like, no. I was on the phone when I was on the phone it's a long story, but I was on the phone and I think I basically went like, fuck me. when I found out.
But is that you hating the show doing it, or just
despising the show doing it?
I figured because you hate
she
soap
actually
opera
didn't
elements.
need that at all.
Why do we need that? We don't need that.
Especially with that man. She don't love that man. I mean, clearly. So
No,
now
but he's such a tryhard.
He's such a retriever.
What are we doing
He's literally
here?
a
How is he a tryhard?
He's so eager.
I mean,
he's such a bag. He goes, do your sisters like me?
Anyway.
Do your sisters like me?
Anyway.
Oh my goodness, do your sisters like me? No, shut up.
I'm good.
You guys are insane. I'm sorry to see you guys are AIDS. This is.
Rick said, "Give me space." He said, "No, give you space so you can go to math." No.
Yeah, exactly.
He's fighting.
Can we talk about this?
Oh
no,
my
can you let me go to bed? I'm really tired.
Like, you already come to and accosted at the man's house, for God's sake. Mind you, all she did was lay down and chat.
Every night.
No, she did kiss him though. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Angel. Like he's meant to believe.
Him, though.
Like, what are we doing?
Come on, Angel.
We know Becca could have done worse. It's math. We know Becca.
What are we doing here? I can't believe what is going on.
Remember at the funeral, right? When she was looking back and he looked back to see who she was looking at, he already knew there were problems there, okay?
Exactly, which is why he's
guys, can we also talk about him coming to the funeral? That was a risky fucking move and he shouldn't have done that.
That's the love of his life now. He has to.
This is, first of all, justice for Joe, because what the fuck is going on? First of all, this man tells her why he loves her three times or three reasons every night.
But did you realize what his reasons were? Fucking ridiculous.
No, but I think that's the point.
Reasons are ridiculous.
No, I think the point is meant to be like little things that like he likes during the day. Yeah, like little things.
I don't care. Come up with better reasons daily then. Otherwise, don't do the premise. Do things well or don't do them at all.
You people are just like, that's
exactly what I need to say.
He says, I like
You're telling me, you like the way your hair, I like the way your hair smells after a swim.
I like the way you dance to, was it Doja Cat or whatever? It's like little things that I'm not noticing. Oh my God.
I like the way you dance to Doja Cat.
Do you think I want to hear
that? I actually like the mention of Doja, but that's being what you like about me is crazy.
Oh my God, Aisha, this is the death. First of all, this man has been doing this for probably a year.
Yeah.
That's 365 nights.
And
let's calm down.
Been a try hard for a year.
Exactly. Like you're proving the point. He's a golden retriever. Like he's going to do anything and everything to remain there.
I'm just saying that. You people want the man that is doing the bare minimum. What it seems like. What this man
is talking about? First of all, Matt did not do the bare minimum. Matt covered up a murder.
He ruined his family's life.
That is real.
Anyway,
and after doing that, he showed up at the funeral.
That's not a good thing.
She should have watched the time of babies like this.
I love Matt.
I don't even know why Sam is. If his wife's
you guys painted Joe as the bad boyfriend here.
Not bad. It's just like he's that boyfriend you have that's like a not comfortable.
Yeah,
like a
you don't marry a Joe. You don't marry a Joe.
But you know, at least it's a pillow.
You don't marry a Joe.
This is just a crazy
combination
of words.
Becca is not marrying a Joe.
You can tell she's not happy with that boy. Like, I'm
Joe
sorry.
needs a girl like Grace.
She did not. You couldn't tell that before.
Someone who would
before what's his face came back.
I could tell that before Matt came back. I was like, there's just one thing for him to do. Her irritations go snap.
So when she goes, I want some space, he should be like, all right, cool, you have some space.
Yeah, not saying no. Okay.
Some anger there. Like some mindfulness. I just caught you at your ex's house for God's sake.
This is serious threatening harassment. I can't believe what's going on.
I don't know what you're saying. I lost you.
What I'm saying is that he should have shown some more self-respect.
Angel.
He doesn't have any respect.
What are you saying? Aisha, I was with you. I just lost
Love
you,
should
Angel.
not have self-respect.
Angel, I just lost you.
There should be no self-respect in love.
Him begging, you have to have self-respect, period.
I just lost you. Okay.
That's literally our problem with Grace. She did not have self-respect.
There should be no self-respect in love. That's different. That's abuse.
Wait. Because I don't agree with Bankole. I don't agree with Angel. What he should have done was he should have said to her, I will give you space and I'll call you tomorrow.
That's not space.
Don't be chit-chatting in my face. I'm tired. I don't want to fucking hear you. Like, call me tomorrow. Call me when I'm rested.
Crazy.
Call me when I'm calmed down.
You see your girlfriend possibly cheats and she's like, I need space. And you're like, all right, cool.
Well, you need to let her explain because maybe things aren't as they seem.
Exactly. They laid down and chatted.
Exactly.
Perception
isn't everything.
Anyway,
perception is not reality.
Man is like, he should have gone home there. After Becca said, give me space, she said, okay, go home. Like, why are you standing there begging her, talking about and fighting for us? Like, please, pick yourself up, I think.
Anyways,
so what I said is that we don't want men to fight for love anymore.
Not like that.
No, you need to fight.
People wonder why there are no more rom-coms.
Not like that.
I just think men don't want to work. They're talking about particulars. Like, particulars are not, the right thing to do. You just can't be bothered.
Some quick notes on Joe because this is just insane. Anyway, so he's played by Peter Claffey. We mentioned it, but there was a bit of a slight alteration. He did appear in season 1, but as a different character.
Yeah. I was like, he looks so much hotter now. Like, what the fuck?
It's not the same.
It's not
the same character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one of the things they were like, oh shit, we have a 6'4" guy. We can't just use him for one scene. We have to bring him back as a love interest.
Yeah, he is quite tall. I also don't like how he likes to like trivialize her height. Like, oh,
you literally call people height. What do you call them last
vertically
week?
Challenged.
Vertically challenged. So you can't complain about
impaired. Actually,
that's so much worse.
Nuance.
He's a former rugby union player.
Is he?
Yeah, and I'm surprised everybody should hang his head in shame for not knowing this. But he's the guy playing Duncan the Tall in Knights of Seven Kingdoms next year, like the Game of Thrones show.
That's really cool.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
He is hot. Yeah. I'll give him that.
Some notes on Joe, who are pride is it. But you know what? Let's just move on.
All right.
Okay.
Since
do you want to hear my second, since it's on this topic, my second galaxy brained take?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Or not take, sorry, prediction.
You're proving yourself to be very useful in this episode, so we're just going to let you go on.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My galaxy brained take is that what's her name? Becca asked Matt to go with her for an abortion.
Yes, he did.
Oh, yes.
No, she did. Yeah.
Is that confirmed?
He was like, nothing is confirmed.
I definitely think that. Let me know when you're ready. Yeah, let me know when you're ready. Yeah, I think she's definitely aborting that baby.
Because if you ever find out, if it's going to be like, oh my gosh, she's about to be, my baby's having a baby.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because
Becca is not in any place in her life to have a child.
Yeah, because baby's struggling with this.
Yeah.
Eva can't have. Ursula is having the also. She can't really tell any of her sisters.
Yeah.
But she told Eva that she's pregnant already.
Yeah, but she can't tell them I'm going to abort it.
Yes, true. Yeah. But I also think that she's not going to go through with the abortion.
Wait, fair. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think she will. Because I think it's very interesting for her to be pregnant. It also kind of is a similar parallel to Sam Claflin's wife also being pregnant, and Sam Claflin being incriminated or wanting being charged. And I do think Becca is a strong suspect. And she keeps making herself more of a suspect. And I still go down with my previous theory that a sister will go down for this, like, at the end of the season. Like, whatever they get.
But you know what kills me is that what would they be going down for? Everybody who has actually committed murder is dead.
Yeah, but that's the interesting set piece, is that everyone who has committed the murder is dead and someone has to go down.
Yeah, they're trying to get somebody as an accessory.
I think they said it's 10 years.
The only accessory is actually murder.
Yeah, accessory to murder is about
after the fact. So I guess my two galaxy brain takes, you guys agree with them. So I guess we're not that far out.
No, I think Ian being the thing, because I also think Ian being kind of like the real kind of villain is very status quo, because we are in the age of self-proclaimed nice guys, and I do feel like Ian is a sleeper
agent. I'll say it again. That's himself as everything anti-JP. So when he starts showing JP tendencies, it's like, hey, God.
So at what point do we do a seance with Grace and we're like, babes, what was your radar going on? Like, could you not pick men? Like, what we doing here?
I don't know why we trust her to pick a guy and marry him within a year.
Loving women or be single.
Grace
on her lesbian tour. She's such a ride.
No, I'm saying she's such a ride. Come on. Even as a nun, I think she'd be fantastic.
Oh my gosh, her and Angelica should go to go.
They come together.
Oh my god, Sister Act 3. They really like Sister Act in Ireland, actually. Anyway,
do you want to talk about the break-in? Oh, I mean, what's next on your list?
I mean, the break-in is the break-in. It was incredibly stupid and it happened. I want to actually talk about Angelica saying that she wants to... Angelica? Sorry?
It killed me the breaking that Becca body checked her. Like, oh my God.
No, but also Angelica is pretending about that. She didn't fall hard enough to have a break.
It's so funny. She has a cut on her finger. She has a cast. It's so funny.
What did I do? What did I do to deserve this? I'm such a good person. Like, why would anybody do this to me? Angelica, you have a
Angelica is so fun. Oh my God. Angelica is so fun.
Yeah. What kind of delusion?
Can we talk about a really, really sick thing that she did? Apart from extorting his sister out of money already, she says she wants to pour Grace's ashes.
It's crazy.
Like, that's
it's crazy.
So crazy of how to ask. Like, that's what you want?
Guys, I just want to can you guys help me understand? Because I usually completely get where a show is going, but I don't understand why she
I
would
have no
say
idea.
this. Does she just want power over the sisters?
I think
Could that be, or is she
sick.
just sick?
I think she's jealous of the family. I think she always wanted to be a part of the family in one way or the other. Like she kisses Ursula's head.
That's true.
Yeah,
like, I think she has this thing of I don't
even
know.
the way she talks about their childhood,
and also I go back to the first episode where she looks at them and she's watching them, hang out. And actually, I was listening to this podcast, and it was Emma Freud who produces all the Love Actually, Richard Curtis movies, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about how she grew up with 4 siblings, and when you grow up with more than 3 siblings, you're like a little group, you're like a little club.
Mm-hmm.
And you live your life like that. And I do think that's how maybe Angelica is looking at the sisters and wanting to be part of this little club in a way. But Ashes is far. It's really extreme.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
She didn't say, I want to point with you. She said, I want to Paul Grace's Ashes. That's even by herself. Like, are you insane? My sister. If I won't put vacuum dust in there and give you that urn, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. I'm so sorry.
I think this is a perfect time for us to go into the rankings. So let me clarify the rankings for everyone.
Can I say something before we get to rankings?
Yes.
Just on the Angelica I was thinking about now, and I was also just thinking about the way Fiona Shaw looks. Like she looks like an older version of Sharon Hogan.
Yeah.
And so it's just another way, I guess, the show is trying to...
I don't know if I agree.
I don't know if Blanche is blondish, isn't she?
No, I think she's almost a brunette.
I don't know. It's just to me, maybe it's just in my head. She just looks like if you had cast 6 sisters in season 1 and Sharon Hogan is the eldest. Sorry, Fiona Shaw is the eldest sister. I might have believed you. I don't know. To me, she just feels she looks like a Garvey sister in my head, but that might just be a random aside.
I don't know. Maybe she carries herself out, or doesn't give Garvey.
No. I'm just in terms of the look.
That's interesting. I do think there is something in that, in terms of that she's yearning for a sisterly connection, 100%. Though.
Mm-hmm.
And we also
it's important to know she doesn't have a sister.
Her husband is dead. Her actual family, or who would have been her family, is gone, and all she has now is Roger.
But her husband
been dead. Again, there's questions
around
his being dead.
He also died with his girlfriend.
That's what I'm saying.
They were not together when he died.
He was cheating on her.
No, I don't think it was a cheat. I think the newspaper article says that with his partner. So I think they had broken up at that point.
They had separated or gone.
But Angelica again, because she has to.
She still phrases it like he.
Yeah, because she's someone that has a neck brace. Someone that wears a neck brace. She makes herself.
She is such a such a martyr.
She has a victim mentality. Yeah.
She literally is such a victim.
I mean, it ties into the fact that she does think she's holier than thou. So martyrdom is not far from her.
Exactly.
Anyway,
and
the rankings.
Okay, sister power rankings, where everyone's been waiting for. Let's go. All right, so. We effed it up last time, but we promised we're not going to do it again.
Don't say that. Don't let them know.
Do it better. We're not going to let them know.
We switched it up.
I
think
being truthful is important.
Says who?
Sometimes sometimes everybody makes mistakes. I like to say that I wasn't the one that made that mistake. Actually,
we had a powwow and we made an improvement. That's all. That's what he puts up. I can understand.
Becky's trying to go up because he knows he's part of the people that made the mistake.
I was not on the episode.
I created this, and I thought I was extremely clear about what I desired. So anyway, everyone's rolling their eyes. Clearly I was not clear. I don't think I actually was that clear. Okay, so what is going to happen is the following criteria are going to inform your decision. And you go sister by sister, ranking them from 1 to 5, with 1 being the best. No, sorry, with 1 being the worst and 5 being the best, basically. So I will go across the categories now to kind of give you an idea of what you will consider when making your power rankings. So the first one is bad bitchery, who's boss ass bitching in this run. I feel so stupid saying that every time, but there we go. The second one is humor. The third one is fascination. Are they interesting or wardrobe to the character, or how psychotic are they? Goodness me, I wish Angelica was in this ranking. NPC scale is the last one, which means how relevant are they in life in general and to the context of the plot. So let's go. Banky, you can go first.
Okay, I'll just kind of say it and run through the point. So, BB, should I say what my original ranking was before the season started?
Yeah, sure.
So it was Ava 1, BB 2, Becca 3, Grace 4, Ursula 5. So, BB for me is at a 5. No,
Okay.
4. Nobody's at a 5. She's at a 4. I think she's still great. I don't think she's done much to hurt her standings from where she was preseason. I really love her reaction to like Grace's death, like the fact that she doesn't really cry, and then like she's laughing at the priest, and then eventually cries.
That
like
made
her
me
laughing
laugh.
at the priest and triggering
It
all
actually
of that.
made me laugh.
Her joining in with Roger in the singing was great. That was
So
like a
sweet.
truly emotional moment. She also said,
BB has pipes. She can really
Her
sing.
vocals? My God.
I forgot to say that.
She also said Bunnylingus, which is objectively the most hilarious thing the show has ever said. So I have that like just there. Now my biggest jumper, surprise, is Ursula.
Oh,
I have Ursula at like a 4 as well.
Wow. That's a big jump.
Big jump. To me, she's finally prioritizing her family, which is like good.
Really?
for a nuclear family.
Her nuclear family. I think she's been really funny this season. Like I think it was episode 1 or 2 when she tells Roger that like even the Pope would have said that JP dying was a good thing. Then I think when Angelica is like, why would I forgive Becca? And she's like, it's what Jesus would do.
Yes. Yes, that was good.
Then when Ava is like, do you have binoculars? And she's like, I have eyes. So
literally that killed me.
I think she's really funny this season. But also in terms of bad betrayal, I guess just her shouting at Angelica like in the church. The person that really shouted at her, that was good. Yes. I thought her guilt in how she might have caused Grace's death was like quite interesting to watch.
It was.
Yeah, and then like we said earlier, she had another instance of running to the hospital to delete evidence. So yeah, Ava is at like a 3. She hasn't really done much to improve or hurt her standings. Like I said, her relationship with Ian, her possible relationship with Ian kind of like hurt her standings for me. But I'm a big fan of her phone etiquette. She's a great phone,
she's like,
phone caller.
Fuck you. Sorry, I got cut off.
She was like, I got cut off.
No, my favorite line in the episode was when she was like, all right, so guys, I just handed in my notice. It was when she drops the phone and then picks up and goes, yes, okay, I'm sorry. So fuck you.
And then even when she's on the phone to Blanard and she's like, I will kidnap you if I have to.
Yes, exactly. That was really
good. Blanard, that's surprising to me. And then Becca is at like a 2.
I'm sick of the girl.
So here's the thing about Becca. Halfway through episode 4, she was probably going to be my top.
Yeah.
Like, because I liked the fact that she was like taking charge and she was angry and she was everything. Then she loses her cool in the police station. She lets it in about the money out.
She was so close. Like, literally 2 more minutes.
Unlike you guys, I believe in real love. So her whole thing in front of Matt's room, Matt's flat, just kind of took her down to a 2 for me. So
why? Because you believe in Joe and her?
Up for me.
Because she kissed another man.
That raised her up for me 1,000%.
Clearly.
That was a hard case as well. Listen, she needs to do what's best for her, and she stopped it exactly.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad all of these are being recorded. We know who you really are. She stopped it. Okay, and then went to cuddle with the man in bed. Please, let's move on.
Everyone that's been involved with me knows who I am.
Please, that's my ranking.
Even if they didn't know, they know at the end. So there you go.
This is just okay.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, bitch.
Okay, please, who's next? Because okay.
So you've done Ursula, you've done BB, you've done...
I've done all. So BB was 4, Ursula was at the 4 as well, and then Ava was 3, Becca was 2. Are we doing Grace? Grace is 6 feet under.
Yes, he did.
Like, I think Grace is 5 now. That's she's dead, actually.
Wow.
I don't know about that.
She's literally an NPC character right now.
No, because now that she's dead, she's empowering the show. She's actually making the show more interesting. So I'm going to give her a 5. Yeah, she's making moves in here. Okay, Angel, give it to me.
This one's actually tough for me, but I would definitely say BB is as a 4 for me because, like Baki said, she hasn't changed too much. She's maintained her level of humor, interest, the dynamics of her and her family, dealing with Angelica, and, just generally being such a bad bitch. She's so cool. Like, I love her. This one's tough. This one's tough. I would say Ava. It's tough. Actually, no, I'll be real. I'll say Becca actually is at 4 for me.
Baby
as
Bex.
well. Baby Bex. Because, you already know how I feel about her chaos, okay? You already know how I feel about chaos. Right now, she's pregnant.
Love her chaos.
I love her chaos.
Supporting cheats everywhere.
She's pregnant. Okay, first of all, she's not cheating.
Okay.
And I feel like her...
Angel, come on. I'm
not supporting cheating.
Angel.
I would say what propelled her for me.
Angel. I can't go this far with you. I cannot. She's cheating.
Just established she stopped it. And cheating on whom exactly? She's single now. Thank you.
What are we doing? Okay.
Which is what propels her for me. Her making the decision to break up with Joe after him being like, yeah, I can't give you space. I want to fight for you. And she's like, you know what? It's okay. I don't think I've ever seen Becca make such a solid decision so quickly. Like, this is her baby daddy, mind you. Clearly a baby she's planning to get rid of.
Oh my God, can you imagine having a baby with Joe though? He's going to be the most exhausting and annoying human being.
Please, let's move on.
You actually just leave the child with him and be like, it's okay. You have that. Y'all have each other. Love you.
I don't know if I just attacking this 6'4" former rugby player.
I have such a thing when it's like, oh my God, I'm so small. I'm so tiny. Oh, fuck you.
He's like,
I hate that shit.
Like, I can put you. He wants to put you like, oh, look how small you are. Like,
you're just so mini. It's like Carrie and Aiden. It's like Carrie and Aiden in Sex and the City, actually.
This is
anyway,
crazy.
So that propelled her for me. So she's actually at a 4 for me now. I am very interested to see what Becca gonna do next. And prior to that little slip about the money, she was holding her own in the station. I feel like
and then she disappointed me.
Okay, yeah. She could have done worse. I feel like past Becca would have cracked it us quicker under that pressure.
She could have done better.
No, but so I actually know when
you're not pregnant on the interrogation.
You're not pregnant.
In her first trimester.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
She just broke up with her man. And her ex just reconnected. Like, it's tough out here for Becca. So yeah, she's at 4 for me too. Ursula is at a 3.
Okay, can I just preface, please, girl, proceed with caution.
Okay. Ursula has a 3. You guys already know why. I think it was such a dumb bitch decision to begin.
You just have a thing against Ursula, and I just don't get it.
Because
wait, what do you think was a dumb decision?
Oh, like her entangling with Angelica in any way. And I understand, the
we've discussed this,
the extortion of it all of it's all well and good. Okay. But no.
Okay.
She was the weakest link for me this last 2 episodes.
Just so harsh.
For that reason,
you're just so mean.
Hey, for that reason, she's gonna have to be a 3 for me, which is better than Ursula would be for me prior. Let's be real.
Because you don't like Ursula, and I think until it would take the finale for you to finally admit that you don't gel with her, and that's okay. I don't gel, baby Bex.
I just thought she was just so selfish.
But she's not selfish this season.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to say less selfish side of her, which is why I think, okay, there's improvement here. But just because you're being less selfish, don't let guilt lead you to being a stupid bitch, okay? Don't be stupid. Love you, though. Sorry, Ursula. She's at a 3. And then Ava, love of my life, Ava is also at a 3 for me, unfortunately.
3?
Yeah, I know. Because
why is she at a 3?
I understand that the love of your life could be your sister's husband, but baby, you just buried her. Okay, is this the focus right now?
I mean, I gave her a 3 as well, so I agree with you. Yeah.
Is your focus right now being in his embrace, or your focus right now surviving this Loftus investigation? I don't know. Personally,
I don't think. I mean, I agree with you, but I also don't think she's like actively trying to.
I don't think she's actively trying,
do
but she's
anything
definitely
right now.
not. She's definitely not trying to keep any boundaries either. She's very much here for all the embrace.
Man, that he answered the fact that he answered the phone and he met her in boxers. I'm just like, bro, like, and the camera pans to reveal. I'm like,
very hairy.
I'm like,
coming to
guys,
me in your boxers right now. Like, hello, I don't know him like that, but she knows him like that. Apparently. So for that, I see her about to make a very stupid.
She knows the real him,
especially with the context of us believing that he's a villain. I feel like this is definitely going to put blinders on her because she'll be like, no, Ian is so low. Like, I just can't see that. And I just even the thought of it right now is actually making me sick, right? So
making you want to gag.
No, it's really making me want to gag. I'm just like, girl, you can't be a dumb bitch from me.
I'll start with Ava because Ava for me is at a 4.5.
Oh,
because you have to do what your heart desires.
Oh my God.
And if Your sister is
Like, I
dead.
feel like the only sane person on this
What?
podcast.
What can you do? If you're attracted to the man, it's a good scenario. You can marry him, and you can both be parents to Blanny.
To Blanny,
and you and Blanny and everyone we can all be good together. And Blanny, we didn't talk about Blanny, but Blanny, she needs to be raised because she's rude and she's unruly.
She's grieving.
And I don't give a damn, but she's very rude. And we forget that the end of episode 2, we see her with Angelica. What the fuck is she doing there? Someone needs to be watching her.
But guys, do you think that Blanard might have been the one they sent in to, to be in Angelica's way? Because remember when they were talking about like, we know Angelica is going to target somebody next.
Yes, let's get ahead of her. No, I think get ahead of her was breaking in.
Because remember when they break in and they see...
That's my outlandish theory.
No, when they go in and they see Blanet's things in the room, they're surprised that Blanet has been there.
Angel, I would love that, but they're just not intelligent enough for that. They are, and
then there's no way they're sending Blanet in there.
Not
fair
enough. I would never allow that.
It's too risky. I think Blanet is there on her own volition because she's a dummy and thinks that she's way smarter than everybody else.
She doesn't know Angelica is a terrible person.
No, she's acting out right now because she's like,
she's a dummy, and she's acting out. I already know how I feel about
2 years.
We already know how I feel. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean you should be unruly. That doesn't mean you shouldn't listen.
I think that's the one reason you can have to be unruly if both your parents died within the last 2 years.
You guys just giving her sympathy because she's a teenager, but like teenagers don't deserve their sympathy because they're the worst.
She needs to really thin because it's not like she lost both her parents and she's in foster care. She still has her stepdad. She has all of her own sisters who have always been around her whole life. Understandable. Something that was already icked out by her mom. Like, her mom was already...
Frankly, you have to understand, we went her too. We were also shitty. We were also shitty teenage girls saying those things. Yeah. But at the same time, you need to step back sometimes and just listen. Just take in.
I agree with you. But the thing is, like, you're adding like normal shitty teenage hormones or whatever on top
like
grief. Plus the fact that she was already angry with her mom when her mom died. It's a lot.
Yeah. She'll be okay though if she listens. Anyway, so it was a 4.5 for me. Baby Bex is at a 3 for me because you use protection. I'm so sorry. And if you use protection and it didn't work for you, you don't want to have a baby with Joe. You don't want to have a baby with Joe. And the reason that Becca is at a 3 for me is because I think she's going to keep that baby. I'm actually 100% sure she's going to keep that baby. And I think she's just not prepared to be a mother. And
just to be on the record, you are against Becca because she's not going to abort.
I'm against. No, absolutely not. I'm against Becca because she's not ready to be a mother, and people should really deeply consider before they become.
How old is Becca? Like 31? Because it's 2 years, right? So yeah,
but it's not by age.
Like, she doesn't even have.
No, I'm not saying. No, because she was 29. She was 29 in season 1, so she'll be 31 now.
Well, she doesn't act. She doesn't act.
I'm not saying it's by age. I'm just trying to figure out her
like
age.
she could be 21.
Like her life, she literally it's not. There's nothing about her that says
she could be a 21-year-old for all I care.
No.
So people mature when they have children.
Anyway, Ursa is a 5, and she will probably stay a 5.
Okay,
because
that's crazy.
She made a lot of mistakes.
Still dropped from the hospital.
You can't say that Ursula is an NPC because she's
actually not right now.
Is so fun.
Yeah, that's why she's a 4. 5 is funny.
She just bumbles around, and maybe I have a bias because I don't know, but I just love watching her.
Also, the start of season 3, part of episode 3. When she's in the car, she comes out and she falls down, and that was like, damn. Like, episode 3 is so good, man.
Episode 3 is actually so good. I was so entertained through her whole hustle. I was just like, damn, they don't know she's thinking about how she might have killed herself.
Now, BB, if I could give BB the world, I would. BB, you are forever 5.
Period. See, I didn't know we could go to 5 because Grace was dead. So if I'm gonna, let me just rephrase. BB is a 5. Okay, I thought 4 was the highest.
And BB is a 5 because she got away from Angelica's home. Meanwhile, Becca's dumbass couldn't.
I mean, to be fair, she wasn't in the bathroom throwing up. So
okay, well, that's her fault that she's pregnant.
She stole a rabbit and lost it.
I guess BB is not pregnant, so maybe Becca shouldn't get pregnant next time. Anyway, let's go to the ending. Let's go to the ending and let's talk about what you expect coming up. We've already talked about our like galaxy brain theories.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
I'm stealing that from
Exactly.
Banky now. I'm gonna claim that that's mine. No one can tell me it's not. And I still think I think this is the best theory we have, that Ian is going to be the villain because I think we're on something.
Like men, be wary.
And if we're right, by the way, Apple TV, Sharon Horgan,
you have to send us something.
Please, can you like just come on or something?
You know,
we can do like
please,
an episode after.
please.
Sharon Horgan, like let's just talk. I actually really love you, Sharon Horgan. I was listening to you on Love Stories with Dolly Alderton too. You're just amazing. Please come on, speak to us. Yeah, hear us, because if we're right about this is major. You know,
mind you, we could have known this, but we're taking it easy, okay?
Probably the annoying thing is that we're recording a few weeks in advance, and then the way these things happen is that the episode will come out and everybody will be saying it. I'm like, oh, we knew first. Like,
yeah, but we actually didn't know. What's today's date? Today's date
I'd like you to know
November 15th.
November 15th.
Ian
November 15th at 9 p.m. London time, 9 p.m. UK time.
And
okay.
3:56 Toronto time.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like you to know. I'd like you to know that we've said this.
Thank
okay?
you.
Yeah,
he's the best.
Exactly. Okay, other predictions. Do we have any others?
Definitely that Becca's keeping the baby. I feel like Ava is going to have a very difficult battle between her like for Ian and the fact that he might be a criminal. However that looks. Ursula keeps making dumb bitch decisions. Who else is there? Becca keeps being sexy as fuck. You know, one thing I might add, I don't know why I feel like BB keeps being sexy as fuck. I don't know, I feel like BB might end up carrying the baby. Hey, shoot me, don't shoot me. But I feel like, I don't know why.
You have to make that decision.
Yeah, because I feel like, you know, even though her conversation with her wife, where she's like, yeah, you don't want this, so let's just not do it. I feel like that's kind of unfinished. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the compromise there might be she's the one who carries the baby to feel something more of a connection than, you know, she did with their first child. If that'll help. I don't know. That's my wild prediction.
That's interesting. I like that. That's quite interesting.
I have another galaxy brain one. Is there a chance that Grace was killed? Like, obviously we saw what happened, but like it wasn't an accident. Like somebody was coming for her.
Yeah,
just because I just thought about it now, but I just remember Bibi like mentioning the fact that like nobody has died on that road before.
For how long?
Rather.
The last one was drunk driving.
And she didn't just crash into
a tree. And they made sure to show us. And I think the cut is quite interesting that they cut and then we see the car. Like, I think there could be something. There could be something.
Anyway,
but if Grace was killed, I'm so sorry, guys. This is becoming like the Taylor on Netflix, the telenovela, the Turkish telenovela.
I have no idea what that is.
Like, I'm telling you, I cannot. If that's
giving Jane the Virgin.
I mean, it is a telenovela after all. I don't think like she was killed like somebody. Like, I think maybe.
You don't think it was
the person that was in that car was not a random person. Like,
I feel that's what I feel too. I feel like the person in that car was
chasing her or something.
Down the road.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, I've always thought the show was a telenovela, so all of this works. All of this feels right for me. But
me. All right. Okay. Well, we'll be back again for episodes.
Oh, can I show a few things about this show before we go quickly?
Yes, go ahead.
I think the directing in this show has taken it more front seat this season.
Yes.
Like, it's like there's some, even in the first episode, they're shots, they're doing things a lot more in terms of the camera and everything. I remember, I think episode 3, when it pans, just before they go to the intro theme, whatever, it pans around the sisters. And then you have Ava with like one hand over her eyes. And then it cuts from that to like the shot of the one-eyed bunny. Like, so like they kind of juxtapose those two things together. Obviously, I mentioned the Angelica one. It's just like they are being a lot more, I guess, flourishing in terms of the directing this season.
Yeah, so they are. I think they're definitely trying to push things in like make you kind of draw your attention to things. But also, I think they found their feet. Just like you said, that they are more Irish this season. The directing's gotten better. I think they're finding their style and their feet and becoming more comfortable as, you know, as creators, which is really good. So we'll be back again for episodes 5 and 6. Please keep listening to our feed. We have so much coming up. Is the cinema, Gladiator 2,
I'm so
lot of
excited for
things.
Glicked.
Glicked.
quick plug for anyone listening to this. It's too late to vote, but we put out our 2014 movie draft last week, which Aisha and I were on. So you can please go listen to that.
Yeah, guys, listen to me just lose my mind. Because I'm pretty sure I lost my mind in that recording. Recorded it a while ago, but I'm pretty sure I lost my mind.
But it was a very fun recording. Also, friend of the podcast, Haja, is going to be doing a Severance rewatch on her podcast, which I'll be joining. So I'll probably link to that in the description.
You're cheating on us? Did you warn me in advance?
Apparently cheating is fine, as we've discussed. So I am just...
It's the context.
I'm just kissing.
So clearly I can just
Angel's
go
words.
off and do whatever the fuck I want then.
Yeah, according to Angel, it's fine. So...
All right.
Those words never actually left my mouth. I just want to say for
cheating is fine. Angel.
Angel is currently. I won't forget that Angel also said that there was an architect involved in her life. Angel is worried maybe the architect is going to hear. He's going to hear about this.
He's actually going to listen to this. And I say it again, those words never actually left me.
I wonder if the architect has taken you on more walks because
they can rewind.
We've done a couple around the blocks.
I actually had a friend whose date just took her around his neighborhood in circles, and that was the whole day.
Was it Paul Mescal? Did he run away?
No.
What?
We're not doing this. We're not entering.
But anyway, we're not entering this because I don't know if that's true. And
I'm not about to be aggregated, but yes, please.
Before days too, y'all.
Yes, please.
We like you, Paul, and we'll be watching in Gladiator. All right, guys, listen to our feed, love us, like us, subscribe. We'll see you very soon. Lots of love. Keep being bad like the sisters. Bye.
Please don't cheat.
I love that.
Bye, guys.
Keep being bad like the sisters.